And a big step that companies have not so much missed, but now need to move to because they were really excited, is how do they create a brain that has the structure that works whether you're in the US or you're in Europe, wherever you are in the company, and then allows this AI to learn and change your company. What we did is we created the brain. And that brain has, think of it as a way of like you're onboarding a new model. You want to use a model, it comes in, it gets certified, it goes out. All of your people don't ever have to know about that. But you know, as CEO, it's safe. It's allowing you to have the structure so that you can do the holy grail that every CEO complains about. How do I scale? How do I make it easy for my people? And how do I focus on how to use it as opposed to the very, very complex landscape that everyone's trying to learn about it, and we try to make that simple for every organization. We've taken all of our knowledge and said, here's your starter kit. Now take the starter kit and make it your own. And using that brain, that AI refinery, we then tie it to your internal data, to your external data, and now you've been supercharged, not just with the technology, but with your own data, and you're gonna go a lot faster because you get to leverage all of our expertise. I wanna sit down and write something. I have a digital agent who's gone and looked at everything that's being said externally by the areas that I want, that tells me everything that I already have, so I don't write something new. And then, and this is one of my favorite parts, when I start writing, it judges me. It tells me, hey, that's not very differentiated from what the competitors have said. Or that has absolutely no difference than that other asset. And then as I write it, I get instant feedback. We're getting the highest quality inputs early in the process. If you have this great technology and people don't use it, first of all, it won't learn, so it won't get better and it won't create value. But it's also not, there's no return on your investment. It's not like you go to work and you say, well, I don't want AI there, I only want it at home. But it's incumbent on us as leaders to actually bring people along that journey. And at Accenture, we have leadership essentials, like how, this is what it takes to be a leader. And one of the most important is the courage to change and the ability to bring people along the journey. Both are important. You have to invest as a company and a leader. You owe it to your people to work on that piece. How are we going to invest in our people to bring them along the journey? If you don't understand, first of all, what skills are needed to do the job, and then how they're changing it, you won't be able to give them the education and training to allow them to do it, which means you won't get the value, but it also means they can't rise to the occasion. You can't stop. Each wave of technology can't stop. The question is, do you have the ability to use the technology to build the new businesses, and do you have the ability to reskill? We have to focus as companies now on the human ingenuity part. But anyone that said, of course AI is going to reduce some jobs. And now the idea is, and what are they going to create? There are jobs that don't exist, but there's also entirely new business models that can do hyper-personalization. AI is one of the best tools to make us all more secure. And that's one of the most important things to understand is that a lot of incidents around security come from people making mistakes, right? Comes from human error. Still, it's the #1 cause, right? AI is actually going to help protect data. It's going to protect the enterprise. And that's probably the most important, thing to walk away from on security is the question that I tell CEOs to ask is, how am I using the AI to now be more secure? And the idea of, digital, the internet, all of that, it's been expanding. That risk has been expanding. The biggest thing that's changed with the advent of accessible AI in this way is now we have much better tools than we did 2 years ago to help protect it. So we think regulation is really important, and the principle is balancing innovation with regulation and protection. Real tangible outcomes breakthroughs in how to bring AI to the physical world. And so it's quite exciting. One of the big trends we talk about are robotics, which I think are super exciting. And if you're walking the floor, you've seen there's so many different manifestations in health and wellness. I mean, it's really incredible what's happening there. And it opens up a whole new way of really helping society and businesses. So robotics is something absolutely to watch. There's a lot of work still to be done, but it's really a breakthrough moment for physical AI. We've always talked about people, process, technology. I think it's now people, process, technology, and data. And when I look across the industries, creating value comes down to those things. And I think that whoever came up with the people, process, technology, that we've always talked about, was very deliberate in putting people first, right? And I think, as we move forward, it does matter looking back, right? Is that we have always succeeded when we start with people and we understand how people will experience things. Because the best idea, as I used to call it, everything looks good in a PowerPoint, and you actually go take it. Start with people. And then process comes next, because the best technology, if you can't actually change the way you work, the technology can be super cool, but it'll never create value. And then data is the thing that most of us missed over the years, right? That was always the one that's super expensive, people didn't want to fix it, right? And it's something that now everybody pays attention to. So those are just sort of the basics of, as you sort of think about, wherever you are in the world, whatever you do as a leader, when you think about, am I using AI, just kind of grounding yourselves in things that actually we've known for years, and it really doesn't matter which industry you're in. The last thing I just say is just kind of you as a person, right? It's a really exciting time. I feel so privileged to lead right now, because the opportunities with AI, and we didn't even really talk about some of the amazing things that are happening with drug discovery. If you read our tech division, we talk about a company that's creating drugs now in half the time. What we can do for safety, what we can do to open up new things. I think it's amazing. And so we've got to be disciplined, right? That structure. And we've got to dream big to make sure that we use this tremendous technology to benefit everyone.